Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Well, I have one of your favorites, Sarah Colonna.
Hello.
Sarah, how are you? Just then you got back from doing some shows. You got upgraded.
Yeah, I was in Burlington, Vermont, and I happened, by the way, I think I told you this yesterday, but when I was getting, when I got upgraded, so I was sitting at the front of the plane, and on came a girl wearing an I'm a Delight Heather McDonald Juicy Scoop t-shirt. Isn't that cute?
Yes, but you didn't say anything.
We looked at each other, but then I don't know if she recognized me or not. But then also it was 5:00 in the morning because I was gonna be like, oh, let me send this picture to Heather, and then I was like, oh, nobody wants to see what I look like. Like, I just felt sad and tired.
But at 5 a.m., was she acting like a delight?
She was. She looked really pretty. She looked like she had her shit together. And that's why I was like, I'm not asking this lady for a photo. She'll be like, who's the monster?
Well, hopefully she really is a delight and she listens every week and she's freaking out right now in her car.
Yeah, she was
mad at herself that she didn't stop and approach you.
I don't know. And then I did get upgraded to Delta 1.
So that's like full-blown flat.
That's full-blown.
Like
flat. You can lay down. And with that early of a flight, after a weekend of shows, it's like, and I know sometimes people are like, why don't you just pay for that? I wouldn't have any money if I always paid for Delta 1. Like, it's like $2,000 or something.
No, the only way is because you fly a lot.
Yeah. So I'm like, it was on the list and the upgrade came through before my trip. And I was so excited about my flight home. I was like, I just want my shows to be over so I can get on that plane.
Did Fortune ever tell you about the worst story I've ever heard about flying?
No.
She and Fortune and Jax, were flying from New York to Italy. And it was her birthday and they got upgraded. So excited.
Yeah, especially for that long trip.
They even wrote the mom, were upgraded. They got there. Jax did the thing that you do, wiping down the whole area.
Yeah, lots of clothes.
They got snuggly. They started to look at the menu of what they are going to order on this 9 to 10 hour flight. And then the lady said, sorry, there was a mistake. Get out. I'll give you 1 minute to gather your stuff.
Wait, what?
I know. It's the worst flying story I've ever heard in my entire life.
And also said, I'll give you 1 minute like it's their fault.
I'm like, why didn't you pull the frickin' lesbian card and be like, excuse me, would you be doing this to a heterosexual couple? And she probably would have like, yes, we are. But,
we do.
But they both just go, okay. And then she goes, I'll let you keep the 2 little waters that came with the first class seat. And then Fortune was like, no, we don't need it. And
then she was so thirsty, probably.
And then they went back to I go, how could they have screwed up like that? Like, that is, honestly, one of the cruelest things I've ever heard of anyone doing to anybody.
Yeah, no,
I don't think there's anything worse than if you were to tell me I had first class and then that I didn't. Like, I would have rather never known.
You're in there, yeah. And then and then they had to go right back to steerage, as you call it.
Yes, to the commoner section. The worst story ever.
That's awful. And how do you make a mistake with 2? Like, something was up. Somebody got pissed and asked for something. Or,
I don't know, but all I know that if that would have happened to Peter and I, we would have
heads would have rolled.
No, well, I probably would have been visiting Peter in prison right now. There's no way he would have put up with that.
No,
there's no way.
That flight would have been canceled. The police would have been on board. You guys would have been on video, kicking and screaming.
I'm like, thank God that never happened to us. Big news is happening. Okay, now you're familiar with The Bachelor.
Yeah,
and Joelle and Jordan. Yeah, his brother is the football player.
Yeah. Jordan Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is his brother.
But they don't talk to each other.
Right.
Anyway.
And that's all that Jordan talked about on the entire...
Yes.
Every time he was on camera. He just talked about his brother and how they don't talk.
And she posted this yesterday, this photo of her, big eyes, his big eyes, big, beautiful ring.
She goes by Joelle now instead of... I thought that was JoJo.
Oh, well, JoJo is her name. But I guess Joelle is her Insta. Anyway.
Okay.
And I follow her, and so I saw this, and she wrote this long thing about, I can't believe that he asked me to marry him again, and it just means so much to me. They've been together 3 years. They've been engaged for 3 years.
Wait, yeah, I was going to say,
but she did a big announcement that he re-asked her to marry him.
What?
So
yeah, they're already engaged. Also, her ring looks a little bit like mine, the diamond on
the diamond is a huge oval diamond, which is amazing. So I assume she got a new diamond, though she never really says that in the thing. She said we were looking at wedding venues. I thought that's all we were going to do today. And then he asked me, and it was an unconventional way that we met because, of course, they were on The Bachelor and everything. So then I'm jealous of like people that are like that in love, I guess. So I was annoyed by it. And I feel like I never get enough credit for being married as long as I do. So I showed Peter how to take the photo, and then we took a photo. And I put it side by side on Insta. And this is what I wrote. Good. Excuse the novel I'm about to post, but I thought Peter and I were just going to Costco to buy 4 half gallons of milk for our sons, like we do every Sunday. And then Peter proposed again after 20 years, crying face. I couldn't believe it. We met and fell in love while I was dating other people, but it was real. I took a leap of faith. And so now, after bawling my eyes out in the refrigerator section of Costco, I just want the world to know how special I am. Imagine how shocked I was to find out that Jordan Rogers also re-asked Joelle Fletcher to marry him again after 3 years. I mean, mine was 20 years, and it's my same 1-carat diamond, even though they do sell bigger diamonds at Costco. But still, just the same, we will be planning a redo wedding depending on if it's free or not. So what do you think?
Your picture is so good. Look how cute you look.
I know.
Very good. That's really funny. And so is that what she said? Like a big novel?
Basically, she said, like, I just am shocked. I'm blown away. Like, this is about, before it was photographed. Now we're just sharing it with our 2 million Instagram followers. So it's a much smaller audience. Not really, though.
But also you already got engaged on, didn't they get engaged on The Bachelorette?
Yes. And I feel like they haven't got married. It's been 3 years. I will say, as someone that watched them, I remember the first time he like shoved her up against the wall and made out with her.
Oh, yeah.
And from that moment, I was like, they have the best chemistry, I think, of any. Like, I was into them.
Yeah, they do seem like they're
so I do think they're compatible. I do think they're going to make it to the altar. But I feel like it's been 3 years and people are, like, annoyed. And I think they were sort of fishing around, like, who's going to pay for our wedding. And now they have this show where they, like, flip, like, Airstreams.
They do?
Or they make the Airstreams like an Airbnb, like a hipster.
Yeah.
Which I said to Kelly, I go, listen, who would do this except for someone that wants to go and have an Instagram photo? And she's like, she would. But I'm like, still, it's got to be like $300 or $400 a night for this Airstream. And if you're going to have that kind of money, don't you want to be at a hotel with like a pool and a nice shower and towels? But I'm not 25.
I know, but it is. I feel like
it's
that stuff is, thing. And it really is for like Instagram stuff. Like
it's all everything. Yeah.
Like when we were in Atlanta, Arden, one of my castmates.
So let's just explain. You just finished your second season of a show that is so amazing. Many of you guys watch it. Insatiable on Netflix.
Yeah. And
when
we just
does
finished
the new season 2 come out?
They haven't told us. I have a feeling it's going to be like around October, but they haven't told us yet. And it's bananas, by the way. Like it's super fun. I got to do like a lot of fun stuff this season.
Okay.
But anyway, we have to stay. We film in Atlanta, so we all stay there. So Arden, who is one of my castmates on there, she had an Airbnb that I walked into, and I was like, "This is," and she said, like for Instagram people, like the colors.
You mean it was an Airstream or just an Airbnb house?
It was just an Airbnb house, but it was like it was just one of those places you're like, oh, this must be used for photos all the time. Like she even ended up doing a photo shoot there because she was like, and I guess the woman that rents it out said, yeah, they kind of gear it towards people who want to come in and use it for like a night or two and just do photo shoots because it's got all this retro stuff and that's a whole house.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little different than an Airstream, but it's fascinating to me that people just rent places just to take photos in them.
So they have this show where they do that, which I think is a fun, cute idea.
Yeah,
so they're like how you can make your like extra thing income, and I think it's like an online show. So good luck to them. Let me talk to me in 19 years.
Do you think that he got word that maybe his brother Aaron Rodgers is about to propose to Danica Patrick and he's trying to steal some news?
Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I just made it up, but I'm curious.
So he's dating Danica Patrick,
Aaron
who's
Rodgers,
the race car driver.
Yeah, she's dating
And
Danica
prior
Patrick.
to that, he was dating Olivia Munn when she still was Asian. Have you seen she's gotten a lot of things filled into her face? It was
really?
But then I saw a recent picture and I think she let that settle.
Yeah,
because she's such I loved her looks and she's so pretty and she had those like kind of angular cheekbones that my stepdaughter has. And anyway, then she got them all filled up. So then she looked like
all that weird
puffy where you
face.
Can't smile because if you smile, it's like
also isn't
like
she
Joker
like
looking.
She's young. Why is she doing all that?
I just think you go and you just look at enough Instagram stuff and then you go and it's a scary thing. Look, I love all of the stuff. I go to Dr. Kasabian. I love it all. You just have to be really careful because otherwise, if you feel too much around, then all of a sudden someone's like, why does that person have such tiny eyes? And it's like, well, they filled so much around the eyes. Like at a certain point, you should have a little bit of a dip under your eye. It can't be like, it's like, then you shape, then your eyes have a different shape.
I say go for it, but you just
all that,
but I do too, but you just have to get
but just be careful. Yes.
You don't want that weird swollen cat look.
Bethenny Frankel, whose face has significantly changed for the better. She used to have this weird big jaw that she didn't realize she was chewing, like building muscles in her jaw every night. And then they put Botox in it and then the muscles went down and then she had a normal sized jaw.
Oh, that's crazy. Because she was like grinding at night?
I guess. It was just like her bottom of her face just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then everyone's like, how does she look so much better? And she's like, oh, I had this like TMJ problem or whatever. Anyway.
I wish I did like sit-ups in my sleep like at night. And they were like, oh my God, your abs are getting so ripped because
what happened?
Do crunches all night.
I have this weird thing where in the middle of the night, I'm dreaming that I'm at the gym. And I'm just crunching.
Just sleep in a plank.
That would be such a great thing to happen.
Yes. We'll see. I'll try to get that.
Speaking of dreams and weird things that happen at night, I just looked this up in psychology today because I was like, what does this mean? I've been having these dreams for years. Sometimes it happens around my kids going to school, but it also just will happen to me. And it's always high school. It's not college, but it's that the last one I had was I was 16 and my parents are alive and I'm in my parents' house and I have not gone to school the entire semester. I don't know where the classes are. I don't even know where to take the final, let alone pass.
I have this. Yeah.
So I looked it up because I was like, is it about school? Is it, and some people, it's completely like, it is people who are overachievers. It's people that like cared about homework and always having it done. And then someone wrote in, well, why wouldn't it be me stressing about the big business proposal I had? Why is it always going back? And I guess that time in our lives, actually, we're so like vulnerable and memorable that that's what keeps coming back. That's what they think.
It's so funny. I never knew what it was either, but I have it. Mine's usually, it's like the end of the year and they're like, and I'm trying to find a class and like, and they're like, you haven't been here all semester. Right. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get like, I need to graduate. Or I have one too where I find out that I never got my diploma because I missed one class all year. Like I missed one credit or something I didn't know about. So I have like two different stress ones. But usually it's like can't find it. And I can't find it.
I don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
And I need to go to my counselor to get my schedule. I don't know where the building is. And the other one is that I've gone to college. I've graduated from college. And then I'm back in high school. And I'm like, I don't need to go through this anymore. I graduated. And then all the other times I'm like, and I also don't need this college degree either. I never use it.
I know. Yeah, I know. Wish we could go back and just take, just get our money back from college and be like we don't really need it.
Like in the dream, I'm like, I know this is a dream and it doesn't fucking matter. Leave me alone, dream. Yeah. Like it's just, anyway. Getting back to Bethenny Frankel. Did you hear the news that she's gone?
Yes.
She's not coming back to the Real Housewives of New York. Now.
I feel like you're very passionate about it.
Well, I think what happened was because she announced it the day they were supposed to start filming. And she's like, I'm on to other projects. I think personally that she was trying, and you and I know this from being in entertainment, that sometimes when you have a job somewhere else, you have to get permission from that current job to be able to do something else.
Right.
So I think she was trying to work out a contract where she could stay on Housewives, but also do these other Mark Burnett shows that she's like been doing because she was on Shark Tank.
Right.
And I think that they were pushing back until she finally was like, fuck it, I'm out.
And so she announced the day of filming and they didn't know?
The cast members didn't know. I don't know if Bravo knew, but
she's like the Andrew Luck quitting the Colts and I'm
Is that
football.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about football.
This guy just quit. He retired like last week, right before the season starts, and nobody knew.
So he's
retiring.
the Bethenny Frankel.
He's the Bethenny Frankel of the Indianapolis Colts.
Like everybody was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So did he tell Ramona Singer that he was leaving?
I think she was the only one that knew.
He called Ramona Singer. Yeah. Ramona was very annoyed by that. Nobody would do interviews about it. They waited like a day or two, and then they wrote something very like, I wish her the best, blah, 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 blah. But they were kind of like gathering the thoughts, except for Ramona Singer, who was like, you know what? I'm really kind of happy for her, but I'm really a little bit upset because she didn't have the courtesy to call her castmates and let us know. And this is how she left 6 or 7 years ago. But, I wish the best. I just think it's a little bit rude. And so that's what I think. But I think also she has this new boyfriend. And I think she's finally smart enough to know that she cannot control herself, almost like a disease, when cameras are around.
Right.
And if she wants to keep this nice, normal boyfriend,
yes,
she better just stop.
It's hard to remain in a relationship on one of those shows.
Yeah. And so I think the two things kind of came to head. And I think she's also, the daughter's like 9. She still is married to the horrible Jason Hoppy. She's still going through the horrible divorce. But I think she will do a show, and here's my prediction, because my predictions are coming correct, right and left.
They always do. They always do.
I think she's going to do a Shark Tank type show, but with only female entrepreneurs.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It is a good idea. And like mentors and things like that.
Well, you should maybe not be saying this on here, and you should pitch it to her because it's a pretty great idea. And now she's going to hear this and
I'm sure she's already thought of it. Speaking of The Bachelor, I also predicted, and people better remember this because I don't have to spend the time to go research which episode I said it on.
You need to have a Heather prediction archives. You definitely do.
Prior to Hometowns this season, okay, I said Peter, the pilot from Westlake, will be the new Bachelor. Today, Us Weekly announced he's the front runner.
Oh, they did? See, I wanted it to be Mike. Mike?
Which one's
really
that?
Handsome black man. He was like 3rd or 4th. Really sweet. He's on Bachelor in
Paradise. Oh, the one that she couldn't stop crying over when she said goodbye. She was like hysterical.
Yeah. And now he's on Bachelor in Paradise
and
right now.
Tell us about Bachelor in Paradise, because I am not completely up on it. I know that Blake had the Caitlyn come. We got all over that they had dated and that she was real horny for him.
There's been so much drama. Like that's mostly all that's happened because they were so focused on that. But then the Jordan, not Jordan. Wait, is it Jordan? See, I always forget their name. The guy, the male model guy.
Yes, the male model guy that had like blonde hair and wore Speedos.
He's actually he was terrible. I remember at first, and I think he's very entertaining.
Yeah.
But him and this guy who was I think like a soccer player or something that wasn't on very long. He was I think he was gone the first night from Hannah's season or something, so nobody knew who he was. They got in a big fight, and they both got kicked off the show.
Oh, a physical fight.
A physical fight, and then
what about the girl
that was last week?
Who says that she's bi now? Is she trying to hook up with any girls?
She has a girlfriend that just came on the show. So I have mixed feelings about this because a lot it's great that they're highlighting a gay relationship on the show. So it almost is
I'm never going to be excited until it's 2 guys.
I know. I want that too. But her girlfriend came on and now they're so what she did was she was seeing one guy who's super nice.
Right.
I always forget their names. And he's really into her. And then so finally she goes, well, I have someone back home that now that I'm here, I'm thinking more about her. So, and it's a girl. So but
wait a minute. So the Bachelor brought a non-Bachelor person onto the island?
So then the girl
is some new shit happening.
She comes out of nowhere.
Is she hot?
She's really pretty. She comes out of nowhere. She comes on the show, and then they stay. Which I was kind of if a guy was you know what, I like you, but I have someone back home, and then that person came on the show, and then they stayed and rubbed it in the face of the person.
So the lesbian
lover...
kind
of weird.
The lesbian lover is staying there.
So they're just staying on Bachelor in Paradise.
And she's still making out with the dude?
No, now she's, I guess she'll be just probably always, she gave her rose to that girl, and then now they're just a couple on the show.
All right.
And I don't think they're trying to date other people. I mean, I guess they'll probably have to go through something like that, get a date card and stuff, but they'll probably just always pick each other. I think they're just now a couple, which is awesome, but it's kind of I mean, obviously, it's good that they're highlighting this relationship, so that's why they're staying. It's it's good for us to see that. But it's kind of strange that the guy that was totally into her and didn't know she had someone and went into it thinking she was single now has to just watch her in her hot lesbian relationship right in his face.
This is the only thing that would make me get excited about this season. And maybe because now I'm 5 episodes behind and it just seems overwhelming.
Yeah, I was getting annoyed by it, and then that happened, and I was okay, now I'm into this.
Is what
and I do
I need 2
the girl
other
seems
guys.
Nice.
I think, 2 other guys after a day of drinking to start to get in a fight about something small, like you didn't keep your side of the room clean or something.
Mhm.
And they start kind of getting a little like in each other's face, like, no, I got a problem with you. No, I got a problem with you. I got a problem. And then they fucking start wrestling, and then they start making out. They start
That's what's going to get you back on board?
making out, yes.
Okay.
And then they're just
Are you
like,
listening at Bachelor in
I
Paradise?
had no clue. I never even knew this, but I guess that's why we had tension, because it was actually sexual tension.
Right.
And then we end the season with like 4 people getting engaged, 2 guys to each other and 2 girls to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think the room. Well, I won't say what the rumor is because people don't want to hear the spoilers or anything. But I don't know. I think that Demi girl and her like, or at least like fully a couple now,
Okay.
and so they're not like dating around. So it is really good. But then I was like, but this, it's obviously like planned. It's obviously kind
Right.
of plotted, and like we get really mad when someone usually comes on the show that was in a prior relation, like that had a relationship still. You know what I mean? Like everyone gets
So
so
you
mad
think
at
they're
them.
taking it easy. Everyone's taking it easy because they're like so pro, like, yay, you're
Yeah.
gay.
Well, I think I think they're like, well, yeah, and obviously, and then
My-
if you do say like, well, screw that, then it looks like you're being, you know,
Yeah,
like
that
you're
you're anti,
not being
like,
supportive
yeah,
or something.
Yes.
But I
So-
do kind of feel bad for the guy who's just like, but maybe he's having a great time. Maybe he's like, I get to watch 2 hot girls make out all day, and like I'm over it. It's fine. Like maybe he's
Yeah.
fine with it.
Yeah, Drake says there's 2 girls that make out all day at school. So they're like in every class of his.
And does he enjoy it?
No, I don't know. Whatever you just
Can you make out all day at school? Like I didn't think. You
Yeah,
could
I
do
guess
that.
I guess if you're girls, you can. I think it's the same thing. I think they're kind of like, I think people are afraid to like, and then because it looks like you're like against it. So like, I think if it's of the same sex, I think people are really like, hey, no problem.
Right. You didn't want to get yelled at. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But I just thought in general you couldn't like make out at school, period, no matter what. But
I guess
maybe things are sliding.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're just so happy that the 2 girls don't have their heads in the phone and have their heads in each other.
Right? They're like, oh my God, they're looking.
They're looking at something other than their screen. That's great. But my that was not a prediction. That was more of a fantasy of the 2 guys making out. My prediction is that won't be happening for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so mark
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Um,
Put that in the prediction folder.
yeah. Do you know what's going on with Todd Chrisley?
No.
Chrisley knows best.
No. You are have to catch me
It's a
up
big
on this.
shitstorm over
Okay.
there, as you know.
I mean, I keep reading things about
He's
it, but I
got
don't know
the
where it
hit
all
show
started.
on USA. So he has 2 kids from his first marriage, and then the kids that you mostly see on the show are from his second marriage. And he basically got indicted for like a lot of tax fraud and tax all this stuff. And his older daughter from his first marriage said that he and her half brother were threatening her with a sex tape that they had with bachelor people.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay,
Yes,
so like, wait, what?
And she's married.
And she was married.
So he's
and-
threatening.
Yes, and then she showed texts that they'd had in the past where her dad would say, like mother, like daughter, you're a cheater. Like you can just see him because I
Yeah.
guess like his, they broke up and he's trying to say that he got custody of them when they were little, which is very unusual, especially 20 years ago. But they're estranged now, and she said, I was going to cooperate with the authorities about the tax stuff, and that's when he came after me and said he has sex tapes of me with people from The Bachelor. And these are the 2 people supposedly that she's seen having sex with while she was married on a puppy cam. And it's been confirmed.
Oh, because I was like, how
by
did
the
he get these? Oh
family.
my God. That's
What is
just-
it?
She's only seen having sex with Robbie on the left, but she also supposedly had an affair with Josh.
Okay, so she's Robbie Haynes. For those, he was his description was swimmer. He swam.
Right.
I don't know what his job was. The other guy, Josh Murray, he's from like a few years ago. He's been on lots of Bachelor in Paradise. He at one point he was engaged to one, I think, Andy.
Andy.
Right. He was
Amanda
yeah.
Stanton, both.
And Amanda Stanton is
Oh, yeah,
a
they
little
got
pixie
engaged
of a girl
on
that was married.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah,
right?
that was
yeah.
a single mom of 2 little girls
Who would
very
always
popular.
come on and cry about how she missed her
Yeah.
kids, and you're like, but then maybe you shouldn't be on the show.
No, it just means so much to me because my little girls are going to realize that, this could be something really special. And this is a new dad for them to just get to know that I'm bringing back from Bachelor in Paradise.
I think she's been on Bachelor in Paradise twice. I want to say she's been engaged like
I think
3
she
or
got
4
engaged
times.
a couple times from the show.
She was with some other tall
Maybe
drink of
I'm
water.
thinking-
They just broke up. She's a little pixie of a thing.
Yeah,
Just a tiny,
She's real tiny.
real tiny.
Mhm.
And so these are the people involved. Well, she's not involved. She just happened to date both of them. Now, he was in Vegas this weekend making out with Sheena Shea of Vanderpump Rules, the swimmer.
Didn't he get like a lot? Didn't people like hate him? I'm trying to remember his story,
Mhm.
right? Like, didn't he do something crappy, or he had? Oh no, when he was with Amanda, he was out
Mhm.
like making out with somebody,
Mhm.
right? Like there were like
Yes, I
photos
just-
of him making out at a club or something.
Well,
when
and
he
then
was with-
Sheena on Vanderpump said that he kind of blew her off and ghosted her, and she felt he used her for more Instagram followers. But then she was there this weekend making out with him. So I don't know. I think the whole puppy cam thing is something to be discussed.
I mean, yeah. So
Like how
How did
great?
this
first of all,
ex,
how
how did she
I don't
be the
have
only
a
Bachelor
puppy cam,
people?
but like how great could this video be? I assume I guess it's as good as a nanny cam, really.
no, they are. They're like pet. Like I actually used to have. I had like a pet cube that I got, and
Oh.
then I gave it to my friend because my cat's dead,
Okay.
and so I gave
Your
it
cat
to.
did live till it was like 40, right?
Yeah, he was 16, which is like pretty old for a cat.
Yeah.
But I got one at like one of those like gifting suites or
Yes.
something, and so I gave it to my friend who has a dog, and she's gone all day, and she sent me like a photo of her watching it, and it's like it looked like a pretty good. Like I think you could get a pretty good. It was just focused right there. Like if it was like on the bed and they were on the bed or something,
Yes.
then it would be a pretty probably clear, solid video.
I had a Juicy Scooper tell me after a show because they people know that I like if I'm gonna have a drink with you after the show or whatever, bring some juice, bring me something, and boy did they. And I think I may have told the story quickly, but it's just coming to me. I'll tell it again. They have a friend, like 2 people that are married that they like know from high school, kind of Facebooky friends, and they're married, and the woman is pregnant with her second child, and she was concerned and put in a nanny cam. Now I don't know if she never told her husband or he didn't care, but she wanted to check on the nanny, and she saw the husband fucking his male friend, or some guy came over. I don't know if they knew each other.
Oh my god.
And everyone's like, what are you going to do? Because now she's expecting another child.
Oh boy. And what'd she do?
Well, good news is she's keeping the nanny because the nanny didn't do anything.
I know for once it's not the nanny, right?
Like the only thing that was shaking was like, their assholes. I don't know, but like,
Their assholes.
but not like a shaken baby, nothing like that. So that was the good news.
Right.
Like, imagine that you're scared to watch the video. You're like, what am I going to see? And you're like, good news is like your child's not being abused.
Your
Bad
nanny
news
didn't
is your husband is secretly into dick and people are coming over to your house.
At least, like, don't they know that there's a camera? Like, didn't this woman know that there's a puppy cam? Like, she couldn't throw a shirt over it or something before she fucked all the guys from The Bachelor?
Well, and then how did the puppy cam get into someone's? Was she boning these guys at her dad's house that
No,
he had the
no.
puppy cam? She's gonna find that out about the puppy cam. So anyway, he's the one that the swimmer is the one that I guessed revealed that it was a puppy cam.
Oh, okay. So he's admitted to it or whatever.
He's enjoying this moment of press.
He really does like it. He was like, oh, good. I'm going to get some more followers.
You don't watch Potomac, do you? Real
No.
Housewives of Potomac. Well, it's been a pretty great season. It's still going on. But there's this one girl, she's not photoed here, but she is a very bad wig. Very bad. And she also wears these glasses that don't have any lens in them. And anyway, they think that she's mentally off.
It was a puppy camera in her friend's living room.
So it was, a puppy camera in the friend's living room. So that friend is obviously not a friend anymore.
Yeah, I guess not.
Well, yeah, for a few reasons, but also, like, don't fuck in my living room.
And also, where was the puppy during all of this?
I remember when I had a housewarming party and one of our friends, I won't say who, like,
What?
looked up in my bathroom.
At the house you live in now?
Yeah. You were there. You were at the housewarming party.
Well, I'd never heard this story.
Yeah, and I
With
think
like a date that they brought and they got horny, or they like two people
no,
got
a
horny
date that
during
they
the
brought.
party. Okay.
Yeah, and Fortune actually walked in trying to go to the bathroom and found a situation. It was like, or she was telling me, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, why? Like,
First of all,
And then-
congrats on
and
having
then-
like such a sexy party.
I know. Yeah.
Like people
who knew?
felt that compelled to like, we can't even leave Sarah's house. We're so fucking horny from this nice new construction
Is
that
that
we have to go into that nice big bathroom and get it on.
my husband had a different take on it. He's like, now we have to move out. He's like, somebody fucked in our bathroom and it wasn't us. Like, that's just at a party. Like, we're adults. But yeah, I guess it was just a sexy party. I never really
Oh
put
my
that
God,
spin
I'm
on it.
very excited that we're going to lunch
and
after
then
and
she,
you can tell me.
and then she knew obviously that Fortune walked in, so she tried to get ahead of it a little bit with me and was like, "Oh, we were kind of like making out or whatever," but that's not the same story that I was told. And like between the two, I'm always going to believe Fortune.
I've always wanted to do
I mean,
that.
she thought it was funny.
I've
Like
always
Fortune
wanted
was
to
just
like
like
have sex at a party, like just be so horny for each other.
Well, you probably tried to at mine, but the door was locked.
You're right. What do you think of this whole Miley getting together with Brody Jenner's ex so-called wife? Because they just sent him something in which he posted it saying, Brody, weed, spelled W-E-E-D, get it? Like to wish you a happy birthday. Love you, Miley and Caitlin. So once he posted that and then people were sharing it, we're like, all right, maybe this is all a PR stunt with the two of them.
But so he's fine with it. Like they're not sending this to rub it in his face. Like he's. Fine
I don't
with it or
think he
whatever.
cares. He was seen making out with some other chick this weekend. I forgot her name.
It might all be for I thought it was kind of weird, like that song that she had come out right away. That
Don't
was
fuck with my freedom.
I was talking about. She said something like she kind of alluded to, or I guess there was like whiskey and pills floating in the video, so she like alluded to like Liam had a drinking and pill
yes.
problem. So people were like, well, maybe you didn't have to like put that out there unless.
Oh, and someone also posted a video of them on the red carpet. And it's like he's got his arms around her stomach and she just pushes him off of her and like takes some photo and he walks to the side. It was pretty aggressive.
Really?
Like usually you're taking a photo like with your spouse. They're both stars, but like,
And he's like pretty hot, so I wouldn't be mad if he was trying to take a photo with me. Like it's not like you got some little
and then they
creepy
kind of
boyfriend.
go, you take it with your spouse and then someone's like, and now Sarah alone, and you're like, okay, and then you do your poses and your guy walks away. I don't think you have to push them off of you.
I'm so busy having to spell my name for the people that are asking to take the photos because they're like, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh my God, forget
It's Sarah
it.
Colonnade.
It's Colonnade. COLLONAE.
No, because
R.E..
we just made an album of videos. If you go to every interview you guys I do and I post on YouTube. So you can watch this with the photos on youtube.com/Heather McDonald. And when Kelly did it, it did correct it to Colonnade.
Colonnade. I know. That's a new one. And that's totally fine. You guys I don't think your Juicy Scoopers know how much technical work goes into you preparing. You have an album.
I'm trying.
And this is
kids.
Heather, who was never really the tech person.
No.
And she's back there
Look at
swiping.
knowing how to work an iPad.
Yeah.
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 That's happening.
She's got it.
Wasn't there like a TV show on MTV or something? Do you remember a scripted show recently about two girls in high school that pretend to be lesbians to get popular?
I don't remember that show.
Anyway, if it wasn't a show, you're welcome.
You're watching
Go make
it now.
Because
I
I definitely feel like that's what it is. Like our climate is in a way that something like this will make you more popular. Just like the girl on The Bachelor in Paradise.
I mean, they're definitely not. They're definitely not trying to downplay it or make it seem like we're just really in. Like they're definitely playing it up. Sure.
Do you feel sorry for anybody that might be ready to come out as a lesbian or a gay man, and it's like now if they do, they're not going to get the PR opportunity that they should have gotten like 5 years ago? Like people would be like, all right, who cares? You know what I mean? Like if someone said it now, whether they're married, whether like when Meredith Baxter Burney came out, who was the mother of not Growing Pains, what was the other movie? What was the other show? With
she
Alex
was on
P.
Family
Keaton?
Ties.
Family Ties. Everybody was like, oh my God, I wasn't. I was like, okay, I can see it, but still totally juicy.
Yeah.
Some great juicy scoop.
Yeah, now they're like, oh, it wouldn't be as juicy. Or
Yeah,
fun
now
if
you're
they-
like, oh,
sorry.
big
Broke your
deal.
iPad.
Like, big deal, you know? Anyway, so my
It
point
should-
is.
yeah, it's good that it's not as a big deal.
Right. But my point is, if you are a star and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to, maybe in about a couple more years, I'll come out then when I need another little boost. I would say, don't wait.
No,
it's
yeah,
even
do
gonna
it for
be
the right reasons. Do it to
Well-
like help other people. Do it to don't wait for your boost because
It's going to be less
Are we
than it would
talking
be
to
today.
someone specific?
Maybe.
Yeah,
But it will be less than it would be today. So
Mhm.
just do it now. Knock it out of the park. Try to
Everybody
get it.
knows.
Try to get at least a couple, maybe a small article in People magazine. You're not
Just
going to
a
get the
blurb. You're gonna
cover.
get a blurb.
You're not getting the cover. Whether you wait now or you wait 3 years from now, it's over. Those days are over. Okay, just anyway.
Oh.
This is Catherine. She's very beautiful. She's on Southern Charm. A couple of the Juicy Scoopers are freaking out because, like a lot of these stars, they like to sell some of their products that they've worn on the show, like through eBay or whatever. And she had this necklace, and she's like, "This is a vintage necklace. It's $125." And several Juicy Scoopers have the same necklace exactly, and it was at Target in 2014.
Oh my god.
And it was, I don't know how much, $15 or something.
She really didn't think that people were gonna figure that out.
Or does she really not remember? And she looks at it and it looks so good that she's like, well, I'll try to put 125. Because then they also said that she put a very, very nice stroller that's worth a lot more for just a couple $100 or something. That should be like $800 or $900.
She
She's like,
might
she put
genuinely be like,
100.
"Oh, this was vintage" or something.
Like
and
she
then-
really might just be like some things are underpriced on her page. She's a little flaky.
Has anyone bought the necklace?
Not for the 125.
Mm.
Now, Dorit and PK are Real Housewives of New York people, and they had a lot of things stolen out of their house.
Right.
And
Right.
so did Kyle. And some people were suspicious of that. But today, these realtors got this realtor. I'll just get back to that in a minute. This realtor got busted for breaking into celebrity homes.
Oh.
He used the open houses to steal stuff, which I'm still confused about because she said she lost so many bags and shoes. And if it's an open house, which usually homes of that price don't have a public open house,
Yeah.
and normally if they would, you'd almost have like a little, an assistant or somebody that's standing near the stuff. I don't know if they looked at, psyched it out, then made an appointment to look at the house, like a preview, and then
Right.
stole it. But still, it's weird because when I was a realtor in the Valley, they would have these like lock boxes, which they don't have in the city, which means anytime somebody went there, there'd be a record that their code went.
Yeah, it
in.
was
so
their
if
code,
something
right.
was missing, so really the only time you could steal was like at an open house. But I'm saying, how many things can you like smuggle out? That like handbags and stuff.
Especially handbags and shoes. Like someone would be like, "Oh, that person's leaving with a giant duffel bag that they didn't have when they came in."
So in my real estate years, only once did I have something stolen from an open house. And it was a Cabbage Patch doll. And I remember we were selling the house, and this was like kind of right before I went to Chelsea. So it's sort of right before like things were still really hot in the market. It was like 2007 or 8. And we listed this house, and right away it was just gangbusters open house. My mom and I were both there. And I remember seeing the house, and the girl had several Cabbage Patch dolls. And I was like, oh my God, they're so hard to find now, whatever. And the house was, so it was like, they're like sitting in chairs or whatever. And so at the end of the day, they call, and we're like, oh, so glad you got our message. We have like 3 offers that we're putting together. Like, it's going to go over asking. And the husband's like, Marjorie's very upset. And I go, why? What happened? He's like, Muffin Patch or whatever their names were.
I think that one does look like a
Is
muffin.
missing. And we've looked everywhere. It's not like she walked off,
Yeah.
She's
You never know.
She's been living in that room that's the doll room for a while. And I was just like, oh my God. And now this is maybe eBay is around, but I still feel like it was like, there was no way I can replace this doll. Like we would have, today I would have been like, find the redheaded doll or this doll.
Right,
We
but
would
they
have
were
been
like-
able to find it and spend $300 and give it back to our clients. but they were just like, it was just, I mean, you're always scared that like a cat or a pet would get out as a realtor, but like to have something like irreplaceable. This isn't a Chanel purse. This is a doll that she adopted.
Yes.
As you do with Cabbage Patch
Yeah,
dolls.
I had a little Russian one.
You went international?
I did. I had an international. He had a little he had like a red shirt and like a hat, like one of those long hats that goes like long ways on your head.
Did he suffer from prenatal alcoholism? Is that what was the connection, Sarah, that you felt a kingship with him because he liked vodka?
I don't know. I guess so. Yeah. I don't even know why I had a little Russian one. And if I feel like he might have been in he was in like boots and like a whole weird sort of outfit. Yeah. But nobody ever stole it, and I don't know where it is now. Maybe it's.
If you're the one who stole it,
you're
all's forgiven. But I mean,
but it's shitty. You don't steal a doll from a kid at an open house.
Well, it wasn't a kid. They were like in their 60s.
Oh, it was his. I thought it was their kid's
No.
doll.
I mean, this is already there. Already, it was vintage in 2007 and 8. It was already 25 years old.
She needed to let that go anyway.
And eventually, when we brought her the offer and everything, she, I guess, was okay with it. But I mean, we just felt terrible because I made a big deal, like, oh my God, you have Cabbage Patch dolls, you can't find them anymore, blah blah blah. And, obviously someone who took it probably knew that they could sell it on the black market.
Do you want to know what I think happened?
It wasn't child trafficking. Right. It was Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch trafficking?
Yeah.
I think the husband saw this as an opportunity to at least get one of those creepy fucking dolls out of his wife's room. And
before they moved to Palm Springs.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't want a doll room in Palm Springs. Like, I don't want these anymore. And he got rid of her.
What if we did a full Dateline investigation back then and found out that in fact the husband did do it? He did do it.
It would be amazing.
And he tried to say some crazy realtor did it.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Wow.
If they're still alive, we can interview them.
People thought that Dorit and PK possibly weren't on the up and up and was an inside. No, this guy is in trouble. He stole. This is Peter the pilot. Yes, he's supposedly the new bachelor. He lives out here in Westlake.
So they didn't announce it yet. It's just...
No, because originally they wanted the guy number 2 that wore the really tight jeans and lived in Florida. But he didn't get with Hannah, broke up with Hannah after a one-night stand with her, and then is now dating Gigi Hadid.
Oh, right.
So he is no longer available unless they break up real quick.
Well, I felt like when they did the After the Rose or whatever, and she asked him out on that date, and he came up there, I was like, your shot's over. Like, nobody's gonna root for you to be the Bachelor now because they all people wanted them together so badly. So it was like he must have gone into that knowing this is my shot at the Bachelor's over, because the minute I go on TV and Hannah asks me on a date and the audience gets all excited, they can't then have him be the Bachelor because people would be so mad. They'd be like, no, he belongs with Hannah. But I did think Peter was very handsome and very sweet. He's just really young.
Very young, and I don't think he's just not a player enough.
Yeah, I just think he's too young, too impressionable. I don't know. I like Mike, the really, really handsome black man that was number 4 or something. He's smart.
Well, maybe.
He's very handsome. He's hot. He's a nice body.
All right.
Really nice smile. Sorry. Do you want me to calm down about it?
No, I think that would be fun.
I think he's really hot. But he is on Bachelor in Paradise right now, so I don't know.
I mean, we've never had a male, African-American male bachelor.
True.
Bachelorette. And I think it would be really fun to have a mixture of girls and really show the element and have some real jealousy. And if it got a little racial and bitchy, that would be fun to watch.
It already gets bitchy. But
it would be kind of fun to see if the alliances were, not like that I want it to be racist, but I mean, there would be, if they were really going to portray it real, I think that would be an interesting element to it. Yeah, I think it could add to some excitement of it. If you want some real fighting, I think that would happen with some real fighting.
I just think he's really handsome and he has his shit together and he should be the Bachelor.
Okay, this guy's a pilot, but so is JFK Jr. All right. So Mama June's place is disgusting. Look at that's the daughter. Anyway, that's not
Ooh,
that
she
interesting.
looks good.
Have you heard about the ChickFilA versus the Popeyes?
No.
Well, apparently ChickFilA, which people do lose their fucking minds
Yeah,
over.
yeah, lose
okay?
it. I grew up in Arkansas. Like, it's just, like, the South especially, it's just, like, the staple. Like, here you have to, really map one out to find one. But
There
they're,
aren't
like,
as many
everywhere in the South
around.
and the Midwest. Yeah.
And I introduced Brandon to it. He'd heard about Chick-fil-A when he was taking his classes at the Groundlings. And he's like, the kids say that there is one near here somewhere. So I'm like, okay. So I went to Chick-fil-A, and he that was the only thing he wanted. Just like when I got him out of camp, just like you'd pick up someone from prison, what do you want? He was like, I want Chick-fil-A. And there wasn't one anywhere near the port of Catalina. I had to go way out of my way. And that's how much he loves it. But now Popeyes has a chicken sandwich that people are saying is even better.
Did you see the video on Twitter of the father that had Popeyes for the first time?
No.
It is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And this must have come from this because I tweeted it the other day. So you could probably find it there if you want. At Sarah Colonna, Colonna, no DE at the end.
Yeah.
I tweeted the other day because it was so funny. It was like, basically it said this girl was at her boyfriend's house and she was like, my man's dad had a Popeyes chicken sandwich for the first time and this is his reaction. And the dad was he was like in his bedroom telling his wife about the chicken sandwich.
Oh, so we didn't see him eat it? He's just describing it?
No, he's just talking. Yeah, he's describing it after. And it's like, it is the funniest thing. He is so excited. He's just following his wife around. He's like, are you hearing me? Do you listen? Are you listening to me? He's like, the pickle tastes like chicken. And she's just like, I heard you. It's so fucking funny. I was crying.
Love that chicken at Popeyes.
I would watch that video like all day and make me so happy.
I mean, and Chick-fil-A, the people are supposedly really sweet. And that's the other part that people love. They're the ones that go have a blessed day, but then they also give
but then they give to the anti-gay stuff. And they like directly give it from their business.
Well,
so
but Fortune...
every once in a while I have like a desperate craving for
Fortune straight up says, I'm fat first, lesbian second. And she will go to Chick-fil-A.
I get, I've had like, I was at a baseball game in Atlanta and they had it. And I was like, fuck, I just want it so bad. I'm not kidding. And then if I have one, then I donate to the ACLU the next day.
Oh, you're such
and it makes me feel better. And I'm sure that's not really offsetting anything, but I can't help it. It makes me feel better. Let me have my chicken.
Not to get political, but I know you love your Soul Cycle. Did you quit Soul Cycle?
I did. If you would like me to explain why.
Did quit.
I did not.
You did not.
And if you'd like me to explain why, I can.
I'm glad that you didn't.
I'm sure some people would argue with me. Well, my first reaction was like, fuck that place. And then, but I was like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like they employ a lot of diverse people and those people, like, I go to classes. I mean, they like
depend on the people being in the class.
Yeah, they depend on the people being there. And they also I've never been to an instructor that didn't like preach everything the opposite of like what the, that fundraiser would have been giving to, like, compassion and love and like all this stuff. Right. So I was like, I'm like fully in the Soul Cycle cult. Like I'm a crazy person.
And I thought
like,
the Soul Cycle was started by two lesbians.
It was started by two women.
Oh.
And I literally had like an instructor like sent me an email like telling me all this stuff because he was like really upset too. He said all their first reactions were upset. And so that guy's company bought Soul Cycle so that it could expand, right? So he's whatever that's called, I forget. Not that this justifies it, but in a way, kind of, I was like, well, it makes me feel a little better. Like, he actually hasn't profited off of Soul Cycle. He only will if it's sold and it goes public. Like, he actually put the money into it so that it could expand. So I was kind of like, well, fuck it. Then he's actually paying people to preach the opposite of his shit.
Yeah.
Right? And so, in a way, that made me, like, also kind of, but I was just like, I just like the people that work there I know, and I was like, these are good people. I'm not gonna.
That's what I think. I respect people who, won't go to certain places based on who owns them or what they stood for or whatever, or won't buy a certain kind of clothing, or that's your choice.
Totally.
But I have a problem with when someone then on a really big platform tells everyone you need to stop using
Yeah,
this
no, that-
company because I said so.
Yeah, I don't like
So it's
that.
like that I don't like.
And
It's
they
fine,
got that.
read up on it.
Yeah,
Make people
that's-
aware of it, but don't say the words like, hey, you guys, just making you guys aware that this is this, but not, that I find annoying.
Yeah, I had a
and
conversation
not
with
fair.
someone that really pissed me off, and she's like, those instructors can get other jobs. And I was like, this is like 500, like probably 400 or 500 instructors across and like, it's not as easy as a spin instructor to get a job where you have healthcare and like it's a company instead of
anybody that
like-
says get another job, fuck you. I mean, that's what they say to people that complain about sexual harassment. Well, you should have gotten another job.
it doesn't
Screw
work. It's
you.
so
It's
privileged
very
say
hard to
something
get
like
a
that.
job.
But yeah, nobody has ever been so embattled over whether or
Because
not
I mean,
to
you
boycott
really like
something.
you bought your place near your house near Soul Cycle. Like
well, they
it
were
was
like,
a
well,
big part of your life.
and then I was like, I forget who it was, some celebrity was like, I just canceled my Soul Cycle membership. And I was like, don't have memberships, bitch. You don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you're just making shit up now. So, like, at least know what you're talking about. Like, do what I did. I took the time. I spoke to people. I actually, like, had 3 conversations with 3 different instructors. Like, I found out exactly what this guy does in it. Like, I didn't want to just have that, like, reaction.
That Twitter reaction. All right, now, what are these guys? Shawn Mendes and Camellia,
Camila Cabello.
Camila Cabello. They've been photographed all over as this couple that are dating.
I wish I had her belly. Look how flat it is. It's so nice.
I mean, they're pretty hot. And so everyone likes them together. Prior to, what was the show? The award show. That hasn't happened yet?
It's
or did
happening tonight.
The award show is happening
VMAs?
tonight.
Yes.
The VMAs.
Okay.
Was it E?
Entertainment Tonight.
Entertainment accidentally tweeted out a story that was clearly meant to happen tonight about 5 days ago, meaning it was a pre-written story that said, ooh, Camellia and Shawn Mendes or whatever, Mendes
Shawn Mendes.
Mendes are
One of the
getting hot
Menendez
and
brothers.
heavy during the Señorita song while watching the Señorita song at the VMAs. And people immediately go, what the fuck? Either Entertainment Tonight is so lazy that they just anticipate stories to do it, or this has been fed to them by their PR people to
Like,
say,
this
make
is what
sure
you're-
they're hot and heavy. I mean, this is like some 1950s, kind of stuff that used to happen where they'd put stars together that both were, under contract at Paramount to act like they're a couple.
Yeah.
So I don't
my
know.
God. Now I'm not going to believe anything anymore. I'm going to think everything's staged.
Unless I see them fucking on a puppy cam, I'm not going to believe it.
That's what they're going to have to do next.
They can't just be snuggling during Señorita.
No.
Now, what will happen when they play Señorita tonight? Will they not even show them, I bet?
Yeah, because, they kind of have, they can't. You can't continue on with this. Or will they be like, fuck it, it'll go away, people forgot, and then.
Well, it didn't get that much press that they did that.
It didn't get that much press. That's why I'm giving
I'm
it some
gonna tweet
press. See them are in the pool.
They're very cute. They look like they're going to get hot and heavy. Prediction, they're going to get hot and heavy tonight during Señorita.
Yeah.
I have a prediction.
My prediction is they won't show them during Señorita.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, it's probably, now they're just like, forget it.
Now,
And also, they're probably never going to use Entertainment Tonight as their first, go-to. Like, that publicist is like, forget you guys.
so
Like,
she's done.
I can't.
And probably the kid that wrote that tweeted it by accident. Because he was probably a scheduled post and somehow got mixed up.
This is why I don't do scheduled posts. I don't even know how to.
That's
really why I don't do it.
Honestly, you really shouldn't, because Sarah Silverman had a great bit in her last special about how she did it. And she just wrote something funny about taking a dump or something. And she's like, oh, I'll save that for Tuesday at 4 or whatever. Right at Tuesday at 4, something really bad happened in the world.
Oh, right.
Like really bad.
Like a mass shooting. And she's
Yes.
like, oh, I just took it.
I can't remember, but it was that's kind of
That's
why.
a very good reason not to.
Don't do it.
That's funny. I have to watch that special.
Okay, 90 Day Fiancé. Now, I've been a fan for a long time.
Same.
My problem is that there's too many of the episodes. There's 90 Day Fiancé after the 90 days. There's 90 Days Fiancé before the 90 days. There's 90 days the other way.
And then
there's
90
90
happily
days
ever after. which
There's
is like,
90
that
days
was
happily
too
ever
much.
after. There's 90 days now what? There's 90 days pillow talk where the favorites of the 90 days sit and eat potato chips
I
and
delete
bag
that one
on
right
it.
off my...
it's like
Yeah.
you
And
now
if you record one all of that shit comes up. Like I came home the other day and it was like, you have 70,000, episodes of 90. I'm like, what? And it's like all these More to Love, extended pillow talk. Like,
Yes, More to Love, like a longer version, a sneak peek version, like TLC. Enough.
yeah.
Okay. Now, some of the stories that I've liked that I've been watching lately is the wait a minute, where is the
You just were
girls?
on them. I love the
Wait, I
Jenny
wanted to
and
go
Stephen
back. Well, one of my favorites is
Mackel.
Mackel. What's her name? Like, there's this one girl that's
Angela?
Angela.
Yeah.
Angela, she's like her second or third season. We saw her go visit her African lover who's 30. She's like 55. She's seriously, first of all, it seems very contrived, this whole thing with the two of them.
Yeah.
She was on Maury Povich once, people have discovered.
She was.
Yes. And she's just like, Michael wants me to have him a baby. And, if I'm going to go through all that trouble because I'm older, I got to know that he's not thinking about any other women but me. And it was his birthday. And I told Michael, you got to stay home. And I called him and he didn't answer his phone. And he's like, well, I think it was very loud. No, you should have walked outside.
You're so
I'm the only bitch. So anyway.
I love like doing her, like she has these like one line. I don't know. Sometimes you
Tell
can't
me
even
some
understand.
one-liners.
Well,
Ugh.
one of the things she said, she's like, what was she? She was like, I think you got horny. You went out. You got your dick sucked. You went home.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I think.
Yeah.
And then she was another
Right.
one where she was like, it was, I don't know. I Instagrammed it because it was like, it made no sense. She's like, well, he's thinking that way and I'm thinking this way. And that's why I know you got to think around the other way. That's why I think 4 ways.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? What the fuck? What?
And she's like wearing some like scrubs of some kind that had little puppies on them. Does she work at a vet or?
I don't know. Maybe she just likes
And then her
puppies.
daughter, who was part of this series a couple seasons ago, is doing time for having sex with underage boys.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, that's not good.
No, but but TLC was like, well, it's just your daughter. Let's not hold it against one of our favorite characters.
Right.
So they brought her back, and he's in Africa, and she's here.
So now
and
she's going back, right?
Oh, well,
I
she's
think-
home right now, but she's like, I don't, I talked to the Lord. I didn't know it was all of this to try to, so I'm responsible for Michael. If we break up, I'm responsible. And they're like, yeah, he can't go on, welfare or anything here. I'm like, what? I mean, like, as if you haven't been watching the show you were on it.
Yeah, that was
Everyone else had to deal with this.
Yeah, and that was the first, like, everyone's favorite couple, Danielle.
Yeah.
She was the first one to be like, find out she had to deal with
Muhammad, yeah.
bullshit. Like, she was responsible for him for like 10 years.
Now, there's the other little hottie that has the identical twin sister that are like 44.
Darcy.
Darcy. They get a lot of lip and filler, and she's a
Did
little
they get them
tiny
like together?
thing.
They got it
Yes,
like
they
together.
get them together
yeah.
so that they can look alike. They can't have one person getting it and the other one not.
She only wears Louboutins. Like she was with her boyfriend on last night's episode
Right.
in Louboutins on a boat in the middle of the day, and he's like having to help her walk. I'm like, just get some fucking
First of all,
tennis
she's
shoes.
about 5 feet tall, and she wears those thigh-high boots. So on me, they would come above my knee to be a normal-looking boot.
Yeah, they go up like
but
right
on
under her
her,
butt.
they're like literally scraping her
They're like
vagina.
pants.
Yeah.
Like, it's like she's wearing boot pants.
So she flies out there. So now she had this awful Switzerland boyfriend before.
Oh, that guy.
That they just fought.
Jesse.
Yeah, he was just really mean to her. She told him, she said, I worked in restaurants. This is how you slice a steak. And that was the final straw. That's
Yeah.
when they broke up.
Finally.
And she's got 2 beautiful little girls that are like, well, they're not little. They're like 13 and 15.
They're really
And
pretty,
so
yeah.
many of these people, because we're going to get into Love After Lockup, have children. Okay.
Mhm.
And so I have the luxury of watching some of these shows with my children. So I'm constantly like, you know how lucky you are, Drake, that I just put up with your father. Like I could be bringing some foreigner home that's been writing me. Because I did. I had a
They're
guy.
catfishing you.
I had a guy from, where was he from, Kelly?
Indonesia.
Yeah, I had someone
Myanmar.
reach out to me on Facebook that was straight up ready to marry me. He was going to come out. He was
Did he
like
need you to
somewhere in
send
the
him money?
Filipinos. No, we didn't get that far, but I said, would you be on the 90-day fiance? I said I was single and stuff. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, he's like, I want to marry you. So, I mean, just imagine like bringing someone like that home to my kids. Like, I can't get over it. So she had met this other guy 4 years ago, blew him off for the Switzerland guy who was like, 26. She has this other guy who's still younger than her. He's 37. But he kind of did the catfishing thing, and he sent hotter pictures than he looks like. Like, in the photos, he looked kind of edgy and a little, like, sexy, like a blue steel
he's
look.
A little more like he looks a little more like accountant-y or, like, I don't know,
still kind of
something.
cute.
No, he's
like,
totally cute.
Like, he shut his mouth, so we didn't see, like, the kind of English teeth he has going on. And definitely, like, just a more dorky swagger than what his photos showed. Like, when I first saw him, I was like, wow, he's, like, hot. He looks like a hot, like, photographer. He looks edgy. He looks like he might have, like, a tat or two.
Yeah, and he's a little more like dad.
And dad bod, the whole thing. But she's still happy to be there.
She's so happy to be there. She did kind of, like, not hide her. He was like, what do you think? And she's like, Like, at first, she was kind of like, he's definitely not as cute as I thought. But now she's already in full-on meltdown mode that he wanted her to stay in another room. Because he's trying to be respectful.
Right.
And then so she got like, had a bunch of wine. Did you see? And then she ended up staying in the room with him. And then woke up, like, full face makeup. I'm like, obviously someone told you, like, get your shit together before. Like, he's coming now. Like, she tried to act like she just woke up. And I'm like...
Right. And then when she went into the bathroom at the airport before meeting him, the driver was there. I guess she had the camera people come with her. But, I mean... She put on like 29 spurts of perfume. I was like, how could anyone
I can almost smell
it?
Her perfume through the screen. I'm like, Darcy would
gotta smell like an angel.
She would be. And, she was like washing her armpits and then drying them under the hand dryer and stuff.
Oh my god! Remember how Suddenly Susan did that in the Madonna movie? Do you remember Madonna and Suddenly Susan? She'd go to the public bathrooms and she flipped the thing up on her air, and I always thought, oh, that's so cool.
Well, Darcy's doing
Love
it now.
Madonna. Other couple is another one of my favorite. There is this African American guy, black guy, whatever, you know what I mean. Anyway, interesting job. He is a pedicurist,
right,
and a manicurist in what looks to be an all Asian salon besides him,
right.
So not only is he a male doing it, which is unusual, but he's a black man doing it,
right.
But he's everyone's favorite,
yes.
And he fell in love with this like 25-year-old Ukrainian model who has never said his name in any of the FaceTimes or the videos.
It's so clear that she just records a video and sends them out to like a bunch of different guys that are obviously sending her money.
It's like she's doing cameos, but not saying the people's name. Like, I say the people's name because I know all this information about you. She's not even customizing.
She's not even trying.
Yes, she's not even.
She's like, just like, I need $2,000 more.
Oh, my baby.
Can we just you, my husband?
Yeah, my husband, my love.
And then he's giving a pedicure, which, by the way, like, okay, can they just do a manicure instead? Like, I don't want to see everyone's fucking feet while you're filming this guy.
And then I just thought of how many feet he's had to do to pay for this woman, because he's given her like $20,000 over the last 5 years. And now he's like, let's meet in Mexico. So we're finally going to meet. And she's like, I didn't buy my ticket because it's my mommy birthday.
Yeah, like, you just remembered it was your mom's birthday today? But do you know the rumor, though?
What is the rumor? Tell me.
So and I saw the picture, he has, like, a profile page on, like, casting in North Carolina. And he, like, has himself sort of looking like, definitely not like a guy who's like down in the dumps working at a nail salon. Like, he's got like his shirt off and then he's got like a handsome like headshot.
Oh.
So people think he's just like on the show and like acting like all this, like he probably is having this conversation and either she's in on it or probably not. But people don't know if like, and I'm like, maybe he doesn't even work at the nail salon.
But this is what I think. At this point, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you first see the casting and are like, you know what? I have been talking to this girl, or I would do this to be on TV and I'll start pursuing it now, or what? Because it's like, especially
it would be an expensive, like, if he's really sent her like 40 grand or whatever he says.
But if you're seen by being on TV, if you're thinking in your brain, like, but this is going to lead to something else. So I don't care that TLC's paying me $2 and I'm spending $30,000, because in the end, I will be on this TV show and it'll lead to something else.
I guess, but I just don't know what you think 90 Day Fiancé is going to lead to other than more 90 Day Fiancés. Like, you're only, like...
Pillow talk.
Like, yeah, I guess.
What now?
Yes.
90 days later.
I mean, it is quite a franchise. Maybe he's hoping for his own family Chantel.
You're right. Thing. I mean, if you look at it like that, someone would go, I do think this is worth it for you to do it. And if you like this girl anyway, pursue it, what other show you're going to get on? You're not going to get on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know, Portia is not going to date you or someone of those people. So how else are you going to get on the show?
I know, because I was like, TLC needs to intervene. This guy's obviously being catfished. I was like so angry. I'm like, this guy is so sweet and it's so sad. And then I saw that whole thing and then I actually saw the like casting photo and I'm like, oh, it's kind of
Or
annoying.
maybe he thinks he'll be, you know, a professional, like a traveling, like, hey, get your pedicure for $100 by the famous dude on TLC. Not that I think that's going to happen, but maybe that's even what he's thinking.
I feel like if I went to his hometown, I'd probably try to get a pedicure from him.
Or
but I wouldn't want anyone to film it. I don't want anyone to see my feet.
Or he thinks he's so dynamic that he could have like his own line of foot cream or something.
Could be.
What's his name?
Caesar?
Caesar.
Right?
Yeah. Caesar's callus scraper. Done. Again, helping out people, getting it going for you. Let's talk about
oh my God, I just thought of his
Lockup.
own spinoff. If he does a dating show.
Yeah.
It could be called Chicks in Caesar. Like Chicken Caesar.
Chicks and Caesar.
Yeah.
Chicken Caesar. Yes.
That's fun.
Clever.
Yeah.
Clever.
You're welcome, TLC.
Yeah. Okay. Marrying Millions. And then I want to get into Love After Lockup.
Okay.
Are you up on this show?
I'm not up to date. I've watched.
You don't have to watch 4. a lot. It moves very slow.
Yeah. I watch it. The Brianna and Bill couple really creep me out a little bit.
Brianna's 21. He's 60. It's just. It's pretty. This one feels very, very contrived.
Yeah, he's just, and like his friends are weird. And I don't know. And then the Katie and Colton one, I was obsessed with because I knew who Katie Hamilton was because she was married to Josh Hamilton. And since I'm a big baseball fan, I knew about her. Like, she's the one that's like,
right.
But she is so pretty. And she's another one that did way too much work because she looks like
she's 56.
And she's like 37. And she's like, why did you run your little fresh face?
I know, and
she
then
did too many.
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird show. This guy with Gentile, he's a construction worker, and he talks like this, and he's like, I don't have a lot of money for a ring, but Gentile is kind of into the fancy stuff, so I'm going to show her that I'm actually the man for her.
Wait, John, my husband, because he watches it too, he goes, that guy looks like he's always trying to swallow air. And then he started doing it. He was like, and it does. It looks like he's like trying to like catch air.
But I feel like
he's like an odd guy.
Like they're really in love.
I do too.
I feel like she is down for it and is fine and is kind of like they were dating and then I think she approached him and was like, you're a cute guy. We could be on the show together. It kind of fits the category. Like, I think that's kind of like I said, like it sort of came at the right situation. The Shawn and Meghan, they actually have a child together. So I believe their relationship is very real.
Yeah. And she just finally wants to get married.
This one finally revealed Rosie and Drew. Drew is okay looking. He has one eye that's it's just a little whatever. It's like
wonky.
Yeah, it's a wonky eye, but he's all right looking. He's been married before. She finally just admitted she met him on a sugar daddy website.
Yeah, which I kind of expected, but
yeah. And then this couple, I truly feel like this girl is like being kidnapped. She's Brianna. She's 21. She was a little Latina girl living in Dallas. She was a hostess at the restaurant that he frequented. He's had like 1 million girlfriends.
All that were like younger, I think.
Yes, he only dates people like under 23 years old. Like it's just gross.
Yeah. And
he's like, you should be happy to be with me. So, and I think he's been on little stints of TV. So I think that was the motivation there.
Yeah, because it's like for him, he doesn't need the money. Like that guy's like really, really completely crazy loaded.
Yeah.
I forget what he does, but I read something about it, and I'm like, he's like.
And then this guy's a rapper, and so she thinks he's got the money, and she doesn't. But then at his rap show, he did one of those money gun machines, and he put like Monopoly money in it. So her friend was like, maybe he's not as rich as he said. And then he goes, well, I mixed it with some real dollars. So because she's like, but wait, I got a real dollar. And the friend was like, well, I didn't. I got a fake dollar. And he's like, well, you got to really stuff it to make it work. I was like, that is crazy.
I'd be more mad. I'd be like, good, it's Monopoly money. Like, don't really actually just throw your money out at the crowd. I need that.
That anyway. Love After Lockup.
Yes, my favorite.
There is this. So I'm watching it with Drake. There's 2 mothers of 3 that are in love with prisoners.
Right.
One girl is obsessed with serial killers, and she was like going to a junior college or something. I don't know what. She was writing a paper, and in researching it, she came across the site Write a Prisoner, and she fell in love with this guy, and they're going to get married. And the parents are just like, really going to bring this guy home? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to bring him home. Like, what's everyone's problem? Like, so then I was saying to Drake, I'm like, Drake, just imagine if I was one of these women. And I'm like, you know what, Drake, you're going to respect your stepdad.
Yeah.
He did 2.5 years for armed robbery. Okay. So when he tells you what to do, you're going to do it. He loves me. Nobody has ever treated me like this. Then there's this other girl that has like the worst lip job ever, just like full duck. And she's like, I'm a model. And she's a webcam model, whatever. She's very curvy, has some tats. She's got 3 kids. Her boyfriend, fiance, is in jail. But meanwhile, she's like 30 something. She met a 21-year-old in prison as well.
Oh, she's got 2
She was
prison
scrolling,
boyfriends?
like she went and found another guy in a different prison. And obviously she doesn't care about her fiance because she's on the show going to cheat on her fiance while the cameras are watching. So she's like, well, this is going to end soon. But
yeah, just like the other
least
one,
I get
the
to be on
guy that
TV.
had the white wife, and then, right? Like, remember the guy what's his name? I'm still watching that one, Life After Lockup, too.
yeah,
I'm
that
obsessed.
one. Mike.
Although that one just ended.
That was
in a weird
Michael,
way.
Megan, and Sarah.
Right, yeah. So they were doing the same thing, and it's like, well, like, you're doing it on a show.
You know eventually it's going to be found out. So
Like-
you obviously don't care about the fiance that much. But the other guy's 21, and she's just like riding through a storm to get to him. And, you know, the guy's calling her from prison, and it's not like he can track her phone from prison. So he has no clue that she's going to a different prison.
I just want everyone out there to just know, if you're single, you're going to figure it out. You don't have to go on a prison website to find somebody.
But now it's like,
Because, like,
what
yes,
if
you can
wanna-
find a great guy who's going to, or girl who's going to come out and be reformed and just had to do, and like made a mistake, sure.
Right.
But mostly that's not what you're going to find.
But
Especially if you're just like looking for them, like only looking for someone from prison.
one of the girls was like, the one who has the skinny girl that has the 3 kids, that she's obsessed with serial killers. She goes, I just always knew I was going to be famous and I was going to be a star. And I'm like, well, this is your moment. The cameras are
That's what
following
you're
you.
doing, yeah.
That's what you're doing. So, you know, why care about your kids? Let me see if there's anything else. Do you know that Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx are broken up?
Yeah. And he's got a new girlfriend that's like young,
does?
right? Am I making that up? Yeah,
No,
no,
I
I
don't
think he has like a girlfriend that's young, and she's being called like a homewrecker and all this stuff, and they're, you know, people are going after her, and he said something about it, like he was basically like telling people like, leave my girlfriend alone.
Well,
I might
think
have made up part of
their
that. But I think it's right.
relationship has been very weird from the start. Like, they couldn't be seen together, and people thought that was part of the Scientology divorce from Tom Cruise. Then I heard things that like he treated her like a booty call. And, you know, then they finally were seen together, like for the first time photographed together at like the Met Ball. And then they break up.
Yeah. They had a straight. Yeah, it was almost like everything was always a rumor. They never really confirmed it.
And
until
now
they
it's
finally
over.
went, yeah. Because
Well,
the Met Ball will
too
do
bad.
it to you.
Lori Loughlin says her friends don't call her as often as they used to.
What did she think was going to
Oh,
happen?
this is the Love After Lockup. Oh, here's some people.
Oh
Oh my gosh. We went through a lot today, girl.
We really did.
Where are
Okay.
your next shows so people can meet you in person and watch your hilarious stand-up?
I'm going to be at Cobb's in September. Cobb's
nice.
in San Francisco, Cobb's Comedy Club. And that's like September 27th. And then I'm doing shows in Wilmington, Delaware in October. And all the dates are on my website, sarahcolonna.com. And then can I tell your Juicy Scoopers to
Yes.
use because they seem to always use it. And so I feel like you have more.
Oh,
some
your
people
bags for the
yeah,
football
well, because they
season.
come it's football season, and
I was
won't
just fishing your bag the other day because someone said, we don't go to SC games anymore because it takes us so long to get through security. And I said, why don't you get a clutch purse for my friend Sarah Colonna.
Yeah,
They said, "What's that?" I go, "How do you not know about this?"
exactly. Clutchwomen.com.
Clutchwomen.com.
And they're stadium compliant. They're not clear. You're allowed to have a bag that's not clear as long as it's exact
right size.
And I made them to be the exact right size because I'm married to a football player and I hated carrying a clear bag. And Juicy Scoopers always get 15% off using the code Juicy Scoop, one word.
And you have a couple different colors and stuff. So you can kind of, if you want to match the team, fine. If you want just a cool black one.
I don't have all the teams yet because like it's it's a new business and we're
Yes.
expanding as we can. But I have a lot of teams. But then if we don't have it, I have solid black or solid blue, and you can always do that. And then concerts have the same rule too a lot. So anyway, I gave you a black and gold one.
Yeah.
That's good with your SC gear, right?
And even like, yes, I love it. And because even some of like the designer cross bags that you think would work don't.
Right.
They don't fit. And
No,
then
it's
here
a
you
very
are with your
specific
little
size.
cute Gucci bag feeling yourself and you can't get that thing
You
in.
can't get it in.
No.
That's what she said. But yeah, please come see me on tour. I'm just adding more dates, but so far San Francisco, Wilmington, and Tacoma.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.